Hi everyone, my name is Fuad Hamidi and it's my pleasure to present our poster entitled Scaling Informal Technology Education Through Makerspaces on behalf of my colleagues at the Digital Harbor Foundation and University of Maryland, Baltimore County. I'll start the talk with an introduction followed by a short description of our NSF-funded project and concluding with a series of preliminary lessons learned. Making is an umbrella term that refers to a wide range of activities, including tinkering, customizing, designing, and fabricating small batch artifacts that usually require technical skills in self-directed projects. The maker movement has gained a lot of attention in the research and practice communities that focus on education and learning because of its recognized potential to support the introduction of an engagement with engineering and other STEM and STEAM concepts and skills through hands-on projects that require creative problem solving, teamwork, and persistence. Maker programs have also been shown to strengthen STEM job readiness and provide pathways to careers in technical fields. The majority of research so far has focused on the learning and empowerment outcomes of participating in these programs on the actual participants. However, research has also recognized the importance of the role of educators in facilitating meaningful experiences in informal contexts such as after-school programs. Also, it is known that current Maker after-school content is often delivered by staff who have limited support, especially from a technical and professional side, in delivering this material. So there is a need to investigate and develop efficient and effective ways to support the creation of new maker learning programs with a focus on educators and administrators so that this technology-rich maker content can be delivered in diverse settings. This effort would also contribute to the broadening of participation in these spaces and in these activities, because if there are programs such as this that could be applied in new settings, it can facilitate the participation of communities in the vicinity of those settings in making activities. Okay, so to study this question, we initiated the Rec2Tech project. The Rec2Tech approach is a holistic, scaffolded plan for supporting the expansion of maker learning programs in informal after-school settings. This program is designed by the Digital Harbor Foundation, or DHF, which is a nonprofit organization with the experience of offering after-school maker programs to more than 5,000 youth in the last few years. Digital Harbor Foundation was founded through transforming an underused recreational center in downtown Baltimore into a dynamic and accessible maker learning hub where diverse youth could participate in hands-on technology-enhanced courses. The Rec2Tech project, which is the one that I'm focusing on today, was developed by DHF in response to demand by community partners for a structured and scaffolded way to replicate this model of transformation in new sites and with educators who might not have prior experience in delivering maker content. The programs that are offered at DHF cover a range of key maker topics, including digital fabrication, programming, and web development, as well as youth employment programs. So the Rec2Tech approach consists of 3 stages of transformation. When a new community partner wants to set up their program for delivering after-school maker curriculum to youth, the first step is to go through space design, where support is provided in with respect to the particular layout of their space to make sure that the needed equipment such as 3D printers, laptops and so on can be placed effectively in this space. The next step is curriculum training provided to administrators and educators in the particular topics that I mentioned that Digital Harbor Foundation covers in their programs, and to ensure that the educators and administrators have the technical and professional resources that they need to be able to successfully deploy the programs. This step is followed by the third stage, which is ongoing skills development and curricular support for educators that basically is ongoing while they implement their own after-school maker program. With respect to curriculum training, we're looking at three variations in terms of the format that this training is provided. One is a home site engagement where all the training is provided at the DHF home site, so that all the educators and administrators would come there and undergo training there before running their programs at their own site. The second variation, satellite site engagement, involves a partial training of the educators at DHF and then partially also going through the training remotely. And finally, the third variation, remote engagement, as the name suggests, would involve an entirely remote providing of the training materials to the educators. And part of our intention in this study is to basically look at what configuration would be most effective and useful for our participants. Okay, so we implemented the project by recruiting 3 participating sites in the Baltimore area and the Washington, D.C. area. All sites are located in urban settings, similar to Digital Harbor Foundation, but each with a slightly different demographic that they serve. We recruited 9 adult educators and administrators in total from all 3 sites, and more than 30 youth who participated in the ensuing programs that were offered at each site after the training. We collected data from semi-structured interviews, focus groups, surveys, and observations. Okay, so we are still analyzing some of the data, which will be presented in a more detailed paper in the future. However, we'd like to share some preliminary lessons learned from our experience so far. So our findings so far indicate that the educators and administrators who participated in the programs preferred a hybrid training model similar to the home site and engagement site variations that I described earlier, that included both in-person visits and training, as well as online resources accessible throughout the administration of the programs. Furthermore, we found that the educators described how the curriculum as provided by DHF provided a structured way of delivering content to youth, and also a way of breaking down and categorizing technical skills needed for implementing the final kind of self-directed projects that the youth would engage in. They also identified some opportunities for customizing content in the future, because both the educators and the youth who participated had varying degrees of experience and expertise in the technical material that was offered, and so having some way of customizing content to match that expertise would be helpful in the future. Educators also identified opportunities to provide more focused support for youths entrepreneurial and professional aspirations, especially as they relate to some of the topics covered in the Maker curriculum in the future. I'd like to conclude by thanking the National Science Foundation and also thank you for your attention during this presentation. I'm happy to take any questions or comments.